Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a new podcast on XFLNewsroom.com. You know us, J-Dash, this is Carlos. We're formerly of the XFPodcast.
Rest in peace, R.I.P. XFPodcast.
Like, shoo, get away. We're done with that old friendly. We're going to get, kumbaya with the XFL community and other, sites. We're actually going to be something that, it's been needed almost. We've seen throughout the last couple of years, or should I say 2018, people taking advantage of us and other followers and other podcasters. But what is Unhinged about? Well, if you know the definition of Unhinged, you should know what this show is going to be about. Controversial, hard-hitting, straight to the facts, and we might be a little psycho.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. This show is basically going to be something that I've wanted to do this whole time, but really didn't want to until I got the go-ahead from our partners with XFL Newsroom.com.
Release the hounds.
So let's just say this. If you are radio personalities out there, or radio personalities out there like Stephen A. Smith, Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharp, maybe local radio shows like Kirk Manahan up in Boston, they all have a characteristic. They all have a goal to just start crap. Not starting to crap to let's start a war.
Speak their mind.
Speak their mind, bring up ideas, bring up situations, even bring up controversial subjects that other shows will not touch. One thing that really I respect for one individual up in Boston, his name's Kirk Manahan, he has one of the highest rated podcasts now in the podcast land, because he loves bringing up controversial subjects from, rape issues with the Boston Globe to gender fluidity. It's unique how he is. But that's how he gets his popularity. Look at Skip Bayless, look at Shannon Sharp, look at Stephen A. Smith on these big-time network shows. They love to stir the pot. We have none of that in the XFL right now. No podcast is like that right now. Now we are. We are unhinged. We are being powered by the XFLNewsroom.com. And that's what you're going to get in this show. You're going to get subjects that you won't even think we'll touch. We'll touch. We will call out certain podcasts for their BS because, you know what, they need to be called out. We will call out Twitters. We'll call out social media sites when it needs to be. And we will even call out players. We got one to call out tonight. So, welcome to Unhinged. Welcome to the new era. Welcome to XFL's Newsroom. I am J-Dash. I am the host of this show. Welcome.
And I'm Carlos, a.k.a. the wrestling movie guy, here to just kind of maybe possibly mediate with this guy, maybe disagree with him from time to time. And, overall, just a little side commentary for y'all. Oh, real quick, before we jump in, get into topics, let's make a shout out to 503 Sports, who have been super awesome and have a great deal for you guys. If you want to get some old school XFL gear, but you want a little discount, a little insider information, type in Unhinged in the code area and you'll get 10% off your XFL gear. Now, enough of the plugs. Let's get down to business. What are we starting off with first today?
Well, we started off first today. Oh, everybody knows about, that new new movie that's out called The Joker. High ratings. Very good movie, by the way. I went to go see it. I really want to talk about it one day.
It's excellent.
I love it. But this type of clown doesn't play in this movie. He's unemployed. He got kicked off multiple teams, and he's a big drama queen. We all know this clown. His name is Antonio Brown. And it's either his helmet or his tweets or, hey, let me disobey the most, maybe, can I say, the dynasty of our generation, the New England Patriots, disobey them, get cut, then demand money from them. But what has this connection to the XFL? Well, there is a XFL Twitter fan out there, Alex the Goat, tweeted at Antonio Brown, will you play in the XFL this year? He goes, I will buy the XFL, tell Vince McMahon his league will not last in 3 weeks max. Now, I'm not no mathematician. I am not no billionaire, but I do know one thing, Antonio Brown, my man. Oh, my God. You have no idea how to count, sir. Your net worth is $25 million. Vincent Kennedy McMahon, $2.5 billion, owner of the WWE and owner of the XFL. You do not tell a man who's basically getting banked right now with the situation in Saudi Arabia. You're telling him that his league won't last 3 weeks. Well, Antonio Brown, sir, quit burning bridges, sir. You know why? You're a great talent. You're one of the best receivers in the last 3 or 4 years. You're like Odell Beckham. You're great, but you're big drama queens. It's sad that a guy that gets high just got released by the Patriots, just got a new job in Seattle, and you're still bitching about the XFL, Vince McMahon, because either your helmet's too small or let's make attack or death threats to women on Twitter. You have so much talent. Stop starting fights with everybody. How does this relate to the XFL? Really doesn't. Really nothing.
It just relates on how he just blew a chance at a second chance in sports. Because, look, the guy's got money. There's no doubt in that. Well, unless he's spending it all like crazy. Hopefully he's got a good manager when it comes to that. But it just boggles the mind. It almost feels like it's a stupid-ass troll job that he's trying to do. But the thing is that he does this so often with such regularity that you think that, you know what? He might actually think that he's serious. He actually believes his own hype. This is absolutely insane. I just couldn't help but laugh at this when I read about this because, really? Vince McMahon? Like, you're going to buy from him for $23 million? Like, the financial deal that he's got going on right now is far more secure than the AAF could have ever dreamed to have been. And he is just running one game or one season is going to have more value in it than Antonio Brown could ever dream to match and try to buy. The only thing that I could think of right now that may financially be a problem for McMahon, but doesn't exactly back up what Antonio Brown is saying, is the situation in Saudi Arabia with WWE. And allegedly, Saudi Arabia is owing $300 to $500 million to WWE. So that could hurt, as a byproduct, the XFL. But seriously, that doesn't even begin to try to help Antonio Brown's argument of how he's going to buy the XFL. It's absolutely batshit nuts.
Oh, I don't understand it either. Honestly, you look at Antonio Brown. You look at his talent. Everyone was introduced to him like maybe 4 years ago in Pittsburgh. No one knew Antonio Brown from Western Michigan. 5 years, whatever.
Give or take.
It's amazing how when you complain, you bitch, and you get released by a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, then you sign with the Oakland Raiders. Then you don't even get through damn training camp, and you're complaining about a helmet. You get released by them, picked up by waivers by the Patriots. Then all the allegations in the back. I have no idea what's going on with those, but I do know that he made a contact or threat to the accuser, which got him released by the Patriots. And now he's complaining that he's not getting the money for the Patriots. He's been jobless for, about 6 weeks now? Week 2 or week 3 of the NFL
At the very
season?
least, and pretty much all that money just vanished because of his off-field antics.
And it also, this tells you what type of character of a player he is. He said the league is going to fail by week 3. So basically, Antonio Brown is calling every single XFL player right now, they're pieces of shit. You're nobodies.
That's making a lot of enemies real quick.
See, you got other podcasts that won't touch that. I've just called it. I just said it right there. Antonio Brown thinks that every player in the XFL right now is a piece of shit.
That's exactly what you say when you say the league's going to fold like that. That's not cool at all.
That's disrespect.
But quick thing, though, just to take a quick step back, like maybe be devil's advocate here. I remember a time when Antonio Brown was a great player. I mean, you know what? He still is.
He's still a hell of a player.
Something happened. Like, something seriously wrong went down with him because, he was cocky before, but he wasn't like a Terrell Owens cocky. He's more like a Randy Moss cocky. Like, he does talk, he does showboat, but
now
at the
he's
same
become
time,
Ocho Cinco.
He does his work. There's a big difference between a Randy Moss and a Terrell Owens personality, and he was in that Randy Moss area. And then somewhere along the line, he went towards T.O., and way further, because obviously nobody wants to have him on the team. I think that the Vontaze Burfict hit may have really contributed to this, and I'm going to give credit where credit's due. Flimlo Raps, he made a video on this. He made a pretty compelling argument for maybe why this is what's happening with him. This could be a major sign of CTE. Who knows? But man, like, this is just, like I said before, just batshit insanity. I don't know what the hell Antonio's thinking. Only time will tell. Maybe eventually, the XFL will forgive him when it's a success, and they'll let him in 3 seasons from now.
Yeah, probably when they have 6 teams. No, 6 additional teams on top of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I could get worked up with the Antonio Brown situation. That's something we can't have control here covering the XFL. Antonio Brown would do something Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, call out maybe women's basketball or women's soccer or something like that, and make headline news again because of his stupid comments. Because if he was worth the damn, he'll be. Well, if he is worth. Trust me, there are NFL owners out there. There are GMs that want him. They don't want to get him because of his ego and what he can do what he's doing right now publicly. Sounds like another couple of players we've heard in the past in recent years in the XFL or the NFL that have related to the XFL in some sort of way. Colin Kaepernick, Ed Reed, to name a few of them. But talking about the XFL and talking about Twitter handles.
Headaches.
Migraines. The XFPodcast, the last show. Thank you for watching our live shows. We appreciate it. Follows.
It's hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
We have seen some bad Twitter handles. We have seen people bring in politics into Twitter to try and promote their city or organization to get a team. But we've also seen guerrilla tactics by multiple, Twitter handles. There are 2 Twitter handles I want to call out. And yes, you can, call us, message us, even call us to get on one of our shows and we'll talk to you about it. That's what I'm going to do. If we have a problem with you and you want to, answer your problem, just come to us. But trust me, I'll just tell the fans to go look at your Twitter handle and they'll just read your tweets and they'll realize that we're correct. See, the XFL is trying to develop a community of fans to grow and to establish in our 8 franchise cities. One thing the AAF didn't really get the hang of last year. Yeah, there are pockets of fans, but there's never been like a foundation there.
No legion.
Exactly. And you see in the XFL, there has been since February 2018. But we ran into one about a year and a half ago named the Portland Vampires. He's the one who brought in, political stuff about the Portland situation and the Portland riots, and he was trying to get us involved. We may have went towards there a little bit, then we realized let's don't involve with him. But we ran into a good individual there who was associated at the time, 503 Sports. They've been with us ever since, so thank you. Remember, a promotion code Unhinged, 10% off. But this Twitter handle today, or recently, this is what I like to call guerrilla follower tactic. You bait followers in, or future followers to your website to treat them like, hey, I got secret information. I'm calling you out, Battlehawk Mafia. Yes, you have 119 some followers. I don't care how many followers you have. I'm calling you out on your style because of one reason and one reason only. You're threatening other XFL communities to gain followers with tweets about beating your wife for ex-wife for alimony to let's get screwed up on Halloween. Just what you'd like to call a non-professional way to gain followers to your site.
Hell, yes, I mean, I was going to say, not even get fucked up on Halloween. It's just, I'm looking at it right now. Happy Halloween. Also, get fucked. That doesn't sound good. It's like, the hell is that? Yeah, showing up to my ex-wife Deborah's house to get my alimony payment back so I can pay the Battlehawk season tickets for the crew. Cleared to beat your ass, Deborah, is the hashtag.
Yeah.
What the hell am I even looking at?
These are the Twitter pages that do not need to exist in the XFL. I don't care who you are, or the NFL, or the MLB or women's soccer or any professional sport in the United States, crap, the world. You're promoting, hatred on your site by representing something that you want to become. The Battlehawk Mafia sounds like a good idea. Look in Buffalo. Bills Mafia is one of the craziest fan bases in the NFL.
Yeah,
period.
Loyal. And it's a cool name, Battlehawk Mafia.
Yeah,
Can't deny
but
it. It's a cool sounding name.
It's a great name. I respect it. It's a good idea. But you're also, it's been another account. This account has changed names over time because this person hasn't, gotten followers enough, but he says he has leaked information about jerseys of the Battlehawk Mafia. Do you realize, sir, no one reported on your stuff. They didn't care because they knew it was fake. And they knew they were going to follow you because you were using guerrilla tactics to let followers come to your site. And also, you're representing the XFL in a way that I think fans should not support because you're representing what the XFL was in 2001. Yes, we want to pay homage to the old 2001, but we do not want to, not recapture it, replace it. No, how about replay the same events that ended the league in 2001? 2001 XFL was very masculine, was very dominant, manly. Women were used as props. It was that idea. That's what that era was in the 2000s. We're far from that. We're more involved as a society.
Yeah, would not fly today. They didn't even fly back then. No. I mean, let's face it, y'all. We love the old XFL, but it is what it is. It was a failure. Absolute fucking failure. It
was a failure. I've gone back and watched every single one of the games. I still enjoy it. There was so much great potential. The football itself wasn't the bad part. It was the other stupid insights.
Now go in there, cameraman. Go into the ladies' locker room and get me ratings. Like,
that is stupid. So the reason why a lot of people outside XFL can't take the XFL serious? These Twitter handles like this, like the Portland Vampires and like Battlehawk Mafia, are the reason why people will not take the XFL serious because they're spreading false news and they're representing the culture that the XFL does not want to be, but yet you think it's the way to sell the product on the field and in these 8 communities. It's sick, it's disgusting, and it's something that needs to be stopped. XFL community needs to go out there and flag these people for this. This is BS. That's why I'm calling this guy out, because it needs to stop.
It's bad representation.
But
we are in no way, shape, or form affiliated with these kind of accounts.
Oh, yeah. Knowing them, they'll block us, and I appreciate they'll block us.
Sweet, I don't have to see the tweets.
Exactly.
Right.
They can block me.
If they want to come on here and try to defend themselves, more than welcome.
Yeah, they're more than welcome, but you can block me, whatever. I'm just saying out this type of representation of this, especially the city of St. Louis, who is, they're fire right now, man. They're supporting the Blauhawks right now. And by the way, coming up Sunday, or when this video comes out, a couple of days ago, the Unhinged Podcast will be dropping hype trailer number 2 called Battlehawks Maverick. And that is a hype video for you guys come out next couple of days. But I'm done messing with Antonio Brown. I'm done messing with the 2 Twitter handles. It's okay. Remember, you want up-to-date XFL news, go to your number 1 source of XFL news, XFLNewsroom.com. Also, check out other podcasts like This Is the XFL Podcast, as well as This Week in the XFL by the ref himself. So let's actually talk about a non-controversial subject.
All right. We can breathe again. The tension in the air is dissipating.
Yeah. But I've been thinking about this. You know how the XFL has, had a great beginning. You can say that the legitimacy of this league started in March of last year when they hired Art of Luck as the commissioner of the league. Vince McMahon, great hire. And ever since then, this league has, made the right decisions. 8 franchises, 8 team names. Now we got players. And everyone's seen the schedules. Remember, Unhinged Podcast will be live in D.C., first game of the season. We might have a ticket giveaway on that with the XFLNewsroom.com, possibly. Stay tuned. But let's see. The Super Bowl, neutral site game. Right?
Yeah.
The World Series, Congratulations, by the way.
Yes.
Not a neutral site game. The NBA Finals not neutral sites. NHL not neutral sites, but football neutral sites, college football neutral sites, championship games. So why is it not, why not keep with the tradition? A neutral site game for the XFL. And this year, the XFL's championship game will be on the same weekend as the 2020 NFL Draft. And the draft is located in Las Vegas.
Whoa.
The XFL has history in Las Vegas. Just saying. XFL Championship, Las Vegas, same weekend.
I'm not sure if you'd want to compete in the same town for all the attention that...
I don't say compete with them.
So look, correct me if I'm wrong here. You just said that the NFL Draft is going to take place in Vegas,
Yeah.
right? The same day as the XFL.
I'm not saying compete it.
Well, I'm not saying compete, but if it's happening the same day, by default, you are competing because you're going to have a ton of people that are going to want to go to the draft, and you're going to have people that want to the XFL.
The NFL Draft's on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. The XFL Championship game's on Sunday.
Okay. Well, in that case, forget what I just said. Edit that out, people.
Because here's a counter argument. Me and you have seen ROH, the Independents, and the wrestling. They like to go to the locations where WrestleMania is because what's around there, the crowds for wrestling. They know they can feed off that crowd.
Actually, you know what? It is genius.
Yeah.
Take back everything I just said.
I
feel really stupid.
A thousand fans from all over the country are going to descend on Sin City in April for the draft. Most of them are going to get there Wednesday night, and most of them are going to leave there Friday night or Saturday night or whatever. I'm not telling you to try to attract the whole fan base that's going to be there for the NFL. Not all of them. You don't have to. Just attract maybe 20% or 15%. That 50% of 1,000 or 2,000 people, that may be 1,000 people, maybe. And you put
1,000 people don't sound like a whole lot right there to me.
But still, I'm trying to say you're trying to add more people to the stands. And one thing the XFL has made, a major focus in is keeping ticket sales down or prices down. So you pretty much can have a neutral site game, have ticket sales of $20 a pop, first come, first serve. Plus you get the allotment to the two represented teams. Hear me out. But not have that thing. Have like an NFL type of NFL fan experience, but have like the XFL.
I think there's one major problem though, and it's this. I think that Super Bowl is able to do it because, so many people are into the NFL and whatnot. But, look, the Super Bowl is known as a big, gigantic thing. And I feel like...
World.
Exactly. And besides the World Cup. And I feel like if you were to do it in Vegas, right, why would Vegas feel such a need to have to get tickets to go to this? It might be difficult to get a lot of out-of-town fans over to see their team in the XFL Championship. I'm not sure how loyal they're going to be. Time will tell. But I feel like it's going to be a lot more difficult to get the place packed because, A, the town you're in is going to be like, XFL, not familiar with it. I'd say you're going to right away have less people that are going to be interested in going. On top of that, you're going to have people that are going to be coming out, and a lot of these fans are not going to be, cheaper tickets, which helps bring in a demographic of families and whatnot that can't afford to fly out to Vegas and see the XFL Championship. So I think that they should have it in probably the most popular, and maybe the most popular XFL city, or possibly the team who has the highest seed, because that way you're going to get the most amount of fans in there. I think that would be the issue with having it in a neutral site, is just getting that many people in there that are that interested.
This is what I love. This is a debate. We finally get a debate. It only took us a half a year to do it, and a name change to finally do it. Jeez, we finally got one.
We're late bloomers.
I agree with the higher seed having the home field. If you're the number one seed going into the postseason, I don't mind having the higher seed do it because we see the Arena League do it, and we've seen World Series, all the other sports besides football do it. The higher seed hosts the championship game or series. I have, what I'm trying to do, the reason why I think Vegas would have been a great option or is a good option. Vegas is you could say it's almost an XFL tradition. the first ever XFL game was played in Vegas.
That is true.
And they had great fan support all 5 home games. So there is past connections with the XFL there. Also, you're trying to they are NFL fans there. There are a lot of extra football fans there for the draft. I think it was a good it'd be a good idea to try to attempt to prick people from that who are football fans to come to the event. Maybe they're there for the whole weekend, and maybe this may be a Sunday night thing for the Sunday afternoon thing to go do. They go check out the league because there might be players that are playing the XFL Championship game that will be playing for the Steelers, the Seahawks, the Ravens in the next couple of months. So it'd be something else. And I'm going to tell you right now, ladies and gentlemen, if the XFL Championship game is in Vegas and whoever wins the championship game, the quarterback of that team is going to be in the NFL next year, and maybe the quarterback of the other team as well. It's just look at what the AAF was like this past year.
It is the nature of the beast.
Gilbert is in the NFL, and Woodside's in the NFL, and I think Arizona Hotshots quarterback John Warford. He's in the NFL.
I hardly remember.
Yeah, but they're in the NFL. So I agree with the number 1 seed going to the higher seed. Now we will see as the season progresses. I don't know if they're going to make this announcement or not before the season. They haven't made it official, yes, the number 1 team is going to have a home field advantage throughout the season. I know the 2 number 1s in each division will have, at least 1 home playoff game. But the championship game, don't know yet. But I agree what you're going at. I'm not bashing you on that. I understand the logistics of it. I understand the ticket sales of it. Like, for instance, St. Louis may be the number 1 overall seed. Dang well they're going to sell out that stadium because they're doing very well. Seattle is very notorious for selling out any professional game, from the Sounders to the Seahawks. So
I was actually thinking Seattle may be the best option. That or St. Louis, because it is a dome, so you'd have a better chance of dealing with bad weather and providing a better experience. DC possibly, but it gets pretty damn cold.
But yeah, in April.
You're right. It's kind of unpredictable. So like last year, it took quite a while for winter to just leave.
Yes. So you're saying have the higher seed have it, or one of the 8 XFL cities have it?
It's an option, but I'm saying that probably be the best one.
I'm saying intrigue other sites that don't have XFL teams, like Las Vegas, Birmingham, San Antonio, to see if the crowds come out for experimentation of future expansion areas. San Antonio would be a great location for them because that's right in the smack middle of the East and the West.
I don't know. I don't think that'd be a very good idea. Not yet, anyway, because it's like a testing ground. You don't want to be a testing ground for your championship. Maybe preseason games, do that instead, in Birmingham and whatnot.
Good point. Preseason games. Good point. I would have thought of that.
Or XFL All-Star game.
I don't like All-Star games.
But people like All-Star games.
Yeah, people love All-Star games. Yeah, people don't watch the Pro Bowl.
But people go to the Pro Bowl. At the very least, you'd still be able to get some extra cash that way every season. That's
another debate I can go hours on. I think the Pro Bowl is absolutely useless. I think, honest opinion, what I would like to see the XFL do is like an award show. Like the ESPYs, like the NFL Networks.
Or the Slammies.
Or the Slammies. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Actually have announce the first team, XFL first team, XFL second team, coach of the year, player of the year, whatever. Those type of reports. That put it on maybe Fox Sports 2 or something the night before, or Fox Sports 1, or even Fox the night before the championship game. They get people. It's this is what the XFL is about. It puts more legitimacy into the league. By the way, I believe so. But a lot of people still think we're discussing our Discord, XFL Newsroom Discord. People, the XFL fans like me and you, we are full XFL, but there are a lot of fans out there, a lot of potential fans out there that won't take the XFL serious because they still think it's a gimmick league. And I really do think that having certain things throughout the season up to the championship game, like award shows, like legitimate broadcast coverage, legitimate football, will start changing that narrative to the XFL being a real league. Because we've seen in 2001, the XFL had a great chance of being not just a good league, but a threat to be a sustainable league. But it made a lot of bad decisions with promotion, and you know the trick. You know the
Ooh, Jesse Ventura. They need to bring him back. Yeah, he was amazing.
Yeah, going down the field against that. Was it?
He's afraid of me. You say that he's a coward. He's afraid of me.
What was that? L.A. versus New York.
Yeah, it was definitely a New York game. It was, Rusty Tillman was that.
Rusty Tillman. That was so stupid.
It's a guilty pleasure. I can't help it.
God, that was so bad, and it wasn't even a good football game either. But it's a debate that I've seen on Twitter, and I've seen that not a lot of shows have talked about it. Not even the unofficial, official podcasts of the XFL. We know who they are. We're not giving them any time of day. They haven't even talked about it yet. But you're a fan of a number one seed overall home field. Whoever's the best team in the league gets it.
Yeah, I think
I like it. I like a neutral site game. I like the Las Vegas, implement because I think it'd be good attraction to the NFL fans. But there's a lot of loopholes to go through. There's a lot of difficult things to do. Plus, a big event in the city like that, having two events like that, that's kind of there's a lot more logistic things that go on. It's just, hey, we're going to just put it here. And also, either have one of the 8 represented teams. And you brought up a good point. Just have it at one city, like St. Louis, because it's in a dome, and it's going to be either St. Louis or Seattle because, good fan support is going to be out there.
You could also organize it a lot more smoothly because that way the fans know exactly where it's going to go. They can pre-plan for it, for the travel expenses, hotel, all that good stuff. So at some point they need to make an announcement where this game is going to be held or whether it's going to be a number one seed. But I think if they want to make the most amount of money and probably make the fans the happiest, just pick a site. Don't matter what it is, just pick the best site that you can so that the fans can appropriately get ready for it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. But so yeah, that's Unhinged, ladies and gentlemen. Our first episode. That's what
bringing the fire.
That's what this series is going to be about. You can catch this episode on all your podcasts because there will be an audio version of this and a video version of this. The video version, maybe 2 to 3 days later, will be on YouTube. This is when Carl does his magic. The audio version.
It's a while. Editing is tough, y'all.
And if you want to listen to it on, podcasts, Podtastic, Google Store, Apple, all the freaking websites, Spotify, them all. You'll get it here within maybe the next 2 days. But
after recording, that is. 2 days after recording.
Yeah.
We'll try to get it out sooner than later. Trying to speed up the process for y'all.
Yeah. But you can find it at XFLNewsroom.com. You can follow us at a new Twitter handle at XFLNR Unhinged. So you can go find, or just find XFL Unhinged. That's a quicker way to find us too.
And if you want to follow me for wrestling news or XFL news or a little bit of everything, hey, check me out at Wrestling Movie G, at Wrestling Movie G. And don't forget about the 10% off code. If you go 503 Sports, just type in Unhinged and boom, you save some cash, y'all, and get some sweet gear.
Also, I know we do have listeners that like us go on our little, other news rants that are outside XFL. There will be a new type of podcast coming out for that. That will be on Carlos's side of things, so we don't know what the name of it is going to be yet, but we will get you updated. But until then, until next time, until next week sometime, you've been Unhinged, and see you guys later.
Catch you later, y'all. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.